Tonight on Headlines Tonight, we'll actually focus on this whole business of the EMIs being reduced on one hand and the government taking some more money out of our pocket because, well, the prices of petrol will rise. That's coming up on the show. I'm Akash Banerjee.
I'm Padmaja Joshi, but let's begin on a positive note. There is cheer, even though it's small cheer for the Aam Aadmi. Amidst rising prices of everyday products, the Reserve Bank of India today cut the repo rate for the first time in 3 years by 50 basis points to boost the sagging market sentiment.
Now, what this also implies for you and me is that the banks will now have to follow suit and cut interest rates on home loans, thereby reducing your EMIs. But the devil, of course, also is in the details. How much of this is actually going to be a relief? How much is it going to translate to? And will the banks actually pass down the entire benefits to you and to me?
We decided to reduce the repo rate under the liquidity adjustment facility by 50 basis points. The repo rate will accordingly drop from 8.5% to 8%. However, it must be emphasized that the deviation of growth from its trend rate is modest. At the same time, upside risks to inflation persist. These considerations inherently limit the space for further reduction in policy rates.
The RBI governor's tentative rate cut has failed to impress IT professional Harshvardhan. He has shelved his plans to buy a house.
It would not anyhow relieve any one of us. So, in fact, people like us won't be in a position to buy a house in future if this goes like that only.
Too little, too late, an overwhelming sense of deja vu among home owners.
The developers as well as home buyers were reeling under severe pressure because of the 13 times, like you mentioned, rate going up and repo rate increasing by 350 basis points. So just by itself, it's definitely a welcome step after such a prolonged period of interest rates going up constantly. This might be a step in the right direction, but maybe it might not be enough to immediately bring that required buoyancy to the demand levels in the markets.
It was left to the finance minister to explain RBI's change of heart after 13 straight rate hikes.
This reduction is after almost 2 years. The moderation of the core inflation rate for 4 months in a row from 8.31% in December 2011 to 5.1% in March 2012, along with a sharper decline in the inflation for manufactured products from 7.64% to 4.87% in this period has facilitated the change in the monetary policy stance.
But analysts fear RBI's rate cut move may just reverse the inflationary trend, drive up demand and prices. Prices of global commodities including oil are climbing, forcing IOC to sound a warning on Tuesday. The markets closed before the IOC announcement, still celebrating the rate cut. The Sensex surging 207 points. The Nifty up by 63.5 points at 5,289.70. And realty, auto and banking stocks all ending in the green.
I think many people had expected that given the emphasis being given on making sure that the economy rebounds.
If we believe inflation is between 6.5 and 7 and repo rate is 8, I think it's real interest rates are attractive for people to put money into investing.
इससे ज़्यादा पॉजिटिव हो नहीं सकता था. मेरे को तो रिजर्वेशन था, डाउट था कि आरबीआई कुछ करेगी क्या, 25 बेसिस पॉइंट भी करेगी क्या, उसी में डाउट था.
This is a very good move. The economy very badly needs it. What is very important is growth. Growth is failing, especially industrial growth. Services and agricultural growth has not been bad, and the industrial growth is low because interest costs are very high.
Economists say that for the central bank it is very difficult to offer any further rate cut, considering the fact that even though the general inflation scenario has eased, the food inflation remains a big concern. So for the common man, there seems to be no relief, at least in the near term. In New Delhi, Mayur Shekhar Jha, Headlines Today.
So in essence, will today's move make that dream of owning a house become a little more within reach for you? Joining us now in the studio is Naveen Raheja. He is the president, the MD of Raheja Developers. Also joining us from Mumbai is Anshuman Magazine. He is the chairman and MD of CB Richard Ellis. But Mr. Raheja, I want to ask you first, given that the basis points have been cut and the EMIs probably are going to come down, what effect will it have on the real estate market? Will houses become more affordable just a little bit maybe?
Oh no,
After 13 increases, a small 0.5% decline is not going to make any effect, and if at all it is there, it will be very, very marginal. If you reduce interest rates, the demand will marginally go up, and that will again spur up the prices.
Okay.
So we don't look at it.
Okay.
The solution for real estate is not a very small 0.5 basis points. If you reduce in repo rate, reverse repo rate or base rate, it's not going to make much of it.
Okay. Now, before we come to what needs to be done as far as the real estate sector, I also want to go across to Mr. Magazine. Sir, what I want to know from you is a lot of hope is being pinned. Even the finance minister has actually come out and says that this is one good positive step. We'll take more positive steps. Should we even consider this as a step to boost the economy? Because 2 days down the line, perhaps the stock market will react positively for now, and then it will go back again. How much optimism does this cut actually give us?
I think the fact is, with all the gloom and doom which has been talked about, especially after the budget and various other issues, government has come up with a positive gesture, a sign, a positive sign. But it's just a sign, it's just a very, just to maybe give some hope that yes, there is something positive. But the fact is, this is not going to have a significant impact. There is no doubt that there will be a small percentage of home buyers. For them, you know, the EMI may, you know, would be a bit less, and it will make it affordable to some extent. But overall, this will not have a major impact. We're hoping that once this positive sign or gesture has been made, the larger steps are taken going forward, which will really impact the economy. And end of the day, we can talk about lowering interest rates, which will certainly make a difference on the purchasing side. But the demand has to be stimulated in the economy for the real estate sector to be really impacted, and that demand can only
just to be in the now. A lot of people asking us, and I know that it's perhaps a little too early. Banks take about 2 to 3 months to actually get those rates down. But by how much? You know, a viewer who is watching us tonight, by how much can he expect in percentage points his loans to go down, his EMIs rates?
That's very difficult to say. What people are on the know of was saying that, you know, hopefully even if it comes out by 0.25%, 0.5%, that will have some positive impact. But the fact remains that, you know, if the interest rates go down further, no doubt it will stimulate demand, which can again put pressure on the prices. But there is no substitute to the entire economic, entire Indian economy picking up. So if we are talking about 6.5%, 7% GDP growth, down from 9%, it has got obvious repercussions on the economy. One of the annoying things is that when people talk about GDP growth, it's just a statistics. It's not a statistics. The 3% compression on the GDP growth itself are showing results on the ground. The consumption is going down, the economy is slowing down, employment is coming down, and all this has a big impact, obviously, in every industry, but especially real estate also.
Mr. Raheja, I want to ask you specifically, you said that this is just a token gesture, more needs to be done. So what is the stimulus that is needed to boost demand?
Simple question, simple solution. Do you buy a house depending upon these rate cuts? You buy a house depending upon whether the housing prices are going to be affordable for you. That is number one. Or whether your income is going to grow to that extent that it makes you buy a house. So that is the basic thing. Now looking at the measures which should be taken, they are: number one, housing is expensive in the country mainly because of land prices. Number two, the clearance process, which takes several years, and so many legislations and so many bottlenecks on every table. You have to get your file cleared, and that adds cost. If I have to wait for 2 years to launch a project and have to clear more than 50 hurdles after making payments, that adds to the cost. Government should try to put all these processes online, and they should be very clearly defined.
Systematic approach, of course, is needed. Mr. Magazine, what I also want to know from you is that should people actually look at the government with a little bit of anger perhaps today? Because on one hand you had EMIs being reduced, at the end of the day you also know that the fuel prices might just go up. So at the end of the day, where are we? Where is the Aam Aadmi? And does the government really have any solutions? Or If it has solutions, what is the problem? Is the solution a difficult one, or is the government just not being able to get its act together?
I think the solution is, of course, when we talk about the Indian economy, no doubt there is a global economic play also where there is a slowdown. But as far as the Indian economy is concerned, tough decisions has to be taken by the government. And I think part of the reason, of course, I'm not saying anything new, is political compulsions, etc. But we can't go on, talking about political, compulsions. Government has to take some steps. Now, you talk about fuel prices. Now, a lot of the time that is beyond India's control. The rupee has depreciated. That is again pushing the fuel prices up. So a lot of those things may not be in control of the government, but the government can still do reforms, bring in fresh investment from outside, stimulate investment domestically. We are still sitting on so many reform processes which the government has not taken a decision to stimulate the economy. So it's one side real estate, but it's tied obviously to the entire economy. Long-term funding is required for real estate. Like Mr. Raheja was mentioning, that there is, a demand constraint. The prices are high. The prices are high because the supply, there is a constraint. Sorry, not demand. And to increase that supply, we need to get long-term capital into infrastructure, into real estate. The only way the prices can come down, the only way you can control price inflation in real estate is by increasing supply. And that supply, in fact, in spite of the prices being so high, the supply is still constrained because of funding is an issue, approval is an issue, etc.
Mr. Raheja, I wanted to add something to that.
The supply is very right. Mr. Anshuman is very right. Supply can be increased with the simple mechanism of increasing FAR and density norms. Why the entire country is shackled into systems? Basic need for a house is good ventilation, circulation, environment concerns, and light and fire protection, and all these things, and adequate parking. As long as these basic parameters are met, why the buildings cannot be made to as much FAR and FSI possible, and that will reduce the prices substantially, and that will make people to buy, that will make everything cheaper. And that will give a fillip to more than 200 industries which have got forward and backward linkages with real estate industry.
All right, so let's see what kind of relief the Aam Aadmi can really expect. Is this mere tokenism from the government, or do they really mean what they say when they say that we are going to reach out to the Aam Aadmi, we want to make his life easier? For now, the people looking at those claims with a great deal of skepticism. For now, thank you very much, Mr. Raheja, Anshuman Magazine, for joining us and giving us your perspective. We'll get you more updates on that story right here on Headlines Today.
So the government gives with one hand, takes with another. If those warnings by the Indian Oil Corporation are indeed true, expect a massive fuel price hike. That's the kind of warning that is going on there. Shift to political action after a very short break here. What is Didi up to? Well, first her